It is purple, it breathes fire, and it can fly. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're taking a look at Spyro the Dragon for the PlayStation 1. This game dates all the way back to 1998. It was developed by Insomniac Games, this being the second game. Back in this day, 3D platforming was still something relatively new. Rather than deciding to take it easy and making sure everything actually works properly in this new three-dimensional space, they decided to add a new and unique mechanic. Flying. Well, more like gliding, actually. It was a risky decision for them to make, but at the end of the day, it did pay off. So what is Spyro the Dragon anyway? Well, you play as a dragon named Spyro. Go figure. The game starts with an interview with one of the bigger dragons, but when Nasty Gnorc, or Gnasty Gnorc, even the game doesn't know how to pronounce it. Well anyways, once the interviewer mentions him, another dragon steps in and goes on to insult Nasty Gnorc, which in turn triggers Nasty to crystallize all dragons except, of course, Spyro the Dragon. Now it's up to him to save all the dragons and defeat Nasty Gnorc. Is the story any good? Not particularly, but come on, it's a platforming game, so how does it do its actual job? Well, the game is really open world. Every single stage has a pretty linear path to the end of the stage, but then there's much more to every level to explore. If you just want to go through the game completing the linear parts, it's enough to get through the entire game and defeat the final boss, but if you want to go 100%, you're really gonna have to explore every single stage thoroughly. I must admit though, for a platformer it doesn't really do a lot of platforming, aside from the occasional glide over a bottomless pit to get some extra gems. Really the closest you get to platforming is jumping upstairs. There's 6 worlds in total: Artisans, Peacekeepers, Magic Crafters, Peacemakers, Dreamweavers and Nasty's worlds. Every world except Nasty's world has one home world, which is kinda like an overworld, 3 levels, 1 boss and 1 flight stage. In the normal stages you go around collecting gems, saving crystallized dragons, and sometimes you have to chase an egg thief to retrieve stolen dragon eggs. These are the 3 collectibles in the game and you'll need a certain amount of them to move on to the next world. The boss stages are not really that much more than just normal stages with a multi-hit enemy at the end of it. These bosses are really forgettable. Only really 2 bosses are kinda interesting, and those are Metalhead and Gnasty Gnorc himself. Admittedly, that's probably just because he is the final boss. The flight stages are the last kind of stage. In these stages Spyro can fly freely around and has to collect 4 kinds of obstacles. Each of these obstacles come in a set of 8. These obstacles range from flaming certain enemies or objects to flying through rings or gates. For each of these sets you can get 60 gems, with an additional 60 gems if you get all 4 of them in one go. The difficult part about these stages is that there's a time limit. However, you can get extra time by collecting these obstacles. The time limit on these stages is rather unforgiving and you're probably not gonna get it right the first time around, which makes this stage really frustrating sometimes. Going back to the dragons for a second, once Spyro frees a dragon, almost all of them give you some kind of unique line, ranging from funny lines,
Spyro, it's great to see you, but I've got to go,
to helpful lines about the stage you're in.
When you see arrows like these, you can charge along with them to begin a supercharge.
Supercharge? Excellent.
Go ahead, try it.
And then there's those guys.
Thank you for releasing me!
With that out of the way, let's take a look at enemy and level design. Every single world has a unique design, and every single world, hell, every single level has some kind of unique enemy which really fits the theme of the world. You're a Magic Crafters? Have some mages. You're a Nasty's world? Have some big mean Gnorcs, and well, every single world has something specific like that. So the final judgment is an 8 out of 10. Spyro the Dragon was one of the best 3D platformers of its time, and still to this day it holds up very, very well. I would really recommend you to pick it up at the PlayStation Network store for just $5. It's a good amount of fun, you'll get a good couple of hours of fun out of it. Just do it, it's a great game. And all of that, we're at the end of another In Retrospect. Do not forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Also leave a comment down below telling me what game you'd like me to cover next. Until next time, I've been Vlogger, you have been awesome. Bye.